This is Kamalakanta Das. On this session, we have to discuss what is resultant, how to get the resultant, and what are the effects of resultant in coming cases. So this is the thing. So now we move to introduction part. Okay. As we know already, in this session we have to discuss what is resultant force, how to get a resultant force, what are the parameters required to get the resultant force. This is the thing. Now come to the introduction part. What is resultant? Suppose you are arranging a picnic or you have arranged a picnic. So number of branches are there in your college: mechanical, electrical, civil, computer science, mining. So many branches are there. So whenever you have arranged a picnic, you have to collect money from each and every classes. Yes or no? Then out of the let mechanical branch, from mechanical branch one representative is there to collect the money for your picnic. Similarly from civil, one representative is there. From electrical, like this, a representative, single representative can collect the money from each and every student. So this representative is called as the resultant of your class. The resultant of your class who is responsible to collect the money from each and every student for your picnic. Another example we can take it. See, suppose in a family, brother is here who is taking 2000 rupees per month, and your sister is here who is taking 1500 for his expenditure. For grocery, let 5000 is your expenditure. Then for electric bill, 800 is your electric bill. Then medical or hospitality, let 3000 per month expenditure. These all of the expenditures are coming from your father's income. Your father's income. Let your father's income be 40,000 per month. So the total expenditure, as you have taken 2000, your sister taken 1500, for grocery 5000, for electric bill 800, 3000 as medicine for your family, and total expenditure, the sum of the total expenditure is go to the salary of your father. So it means all the expenditure is managed by your father. Means your father is the resultant of your family. So you all are what? You all are the components of your family. Getting my point? This is called resultant. So resultant is nothing but a single force which have produced the same effect as produced by the number of given forces. This is called resultant. Then, how to get the resultant? If a body is subjected to number of forces, so we cannot consider all the forces for the purpose. So we have to consider a single force which is responsible to produce the same effect as produced by the number of given forces. So two methods are there. One is analytical method. And another one is geometrical method. So in analytical method, so many principles or laws are there, like parallelogram law, triangle law, polygon law. So many laws are there to get the resultant, to obtain the resultant. Resultant is also force. Okay. After completion of this analytic part, we go to the geometric part. So in this process, we have to know the parallelogram law. Why we need parallelogram law? So parallelogram is needed to evaluate or to obtain the resultant force. Okay, you know what is parallelogram? Yes or no? Definitely you know parallelogram. According to the parallelogram principle, this law is called as parallelogram. It means if two coplanar forces are acting simultaneously on a particle or on a body, and be represented in magnitude and direction by the two adjacent sides of a parallelogram, then see. If two coplanar forces, so here P is a force, Q is the force, acting simultaneously on a particle. Suppose this is a particular body. Let this is O, this is A, this is B, this is C. If two coplanar forces acting simultaneously on a particle at a point, P is the force, Q is the another force. Be represented in magnitude. This is the magnitude of the force. This is the another magnitude, force of magnitude. And by the two adjacent sides, this OA and OC are the adjacent sides of the parallelogram. Then their resultant may be represented in magnitude and direction by the diagonal. OB is the diagonal of the parallelogram OABC. By the diagonal of the parallelogram, which passes through their point of intersection, means the point of intersection of P and Q at O. This is the law called parallelogram law. Okay? Then come to, let this angle be theta. P is the force, Q is the force, and R, let this is be R. R is the resultant for this. So R represents the resultant of the force. So we go for the proof. Okay? Let draw a perpendicular from point B. Let point D. As per the statement of parallelogram law, we have to prove that. So from triangle OBD, OBD is a right angle triangle. So according to Pythagoras theorem, OB square, OB is the hypotenuse, so OB square equal to OD square plus DB square. OD square plus DB square. So OD is nothing but OC plus CD. So OC plus CD whole square plus DB square. OC is how much? OC is nothing but Q and CD is nothing but P cos theta. Yes or no? Okay. So DB is how much? P sin theta. Okay. Then OB is nothing but R, means R square. So R square equal to Q plus P cos theta whole square plus P sin square theta. Open it. So A plus B whole square, A square means Q square, 2AB, okay, plus P square cos square theta plus P square sin square theta. Okay. Now this is Q square plus 2PQ cos theta plus, here is P square cos square theta, here is P square sin theta. So common is P square. So take P square is common. So cos square theta plus sin square theta. This is termed as 1. Cos square theta plus sin square 1. So here equation are now turned into R square equal to Q square plus 2PQ cos theta plus P square. It means P square plus Q square plus 2PQ cos theta. So R equal to square root of this much. So this is the process by which to obtain the resultant from here. If two couplant forces are acting at a single point or acting on a body simultaneously, and by applying parallelogram theorem, we have to obtain the resultant force. This is this square root of p square plus q square plus 2pq cos theta, and this is the condition how to obtain this. But though resultant is a force, we have to find out what is the direction, in which direction it will act. We don't know. So that's why we have to find out this angle. Resultant makes an angle, let angle be alpha. So we have to find out what is the direction of the, this is the magnitude of resultant. What is that? R equal to square root of p square plus q square plus 2pq cos theta. This is the magnitude, and we have to find out the direction. Direction of the force, resultant force. Direction means, though angle is measured anticlockwise, that is taken as positive, it means tan alpha equal to p by b, that is bd by od. bd by od in the same triangle, triangle OBD. BD is how much, or dB as you say, p sin theta by q plus p cos theta, because OD equal to OC plus CD. So alpha equal to tan inverse this much. So this is the magnitude, this is the direction. You have to find out by applying parallelogram. If two coplanar forces acting at a simultaneously. And another thing is there, let important things here. In this case, theta is in acute condition. Theta is in acute condition. So less than 90 degree. If condition 1, if theta equal to 90 degree, if the condition is theta equal to 90 degree, then you put the angle theta here only. So resultant R equal to square root of p square plus q square plus 2pq cos theta. Theta means cos 90. Cos 90 is how much? That is 0. Cos 90 is 0. So 0 into 2pq is how much? 0. So this term is obsolete. How much you will get? R equal to square root of p square plus q square, or you can write r square equal to p square plus q square. It means this is the rectangular coordinate system. As you know, in a right angle triangle, r square equal to s square equal to p square plus b square. If theta is 90 degree, theta is 90 degree means that is right angle triangle. Okay? And same thing, direction, tan alpha equal to, what is that? P sin theta by q plus p cos theta. So theta is 90 degree here. So it means sin 90, and here is cos 90. It means cos 90 is 0, this term is neglected. Sin 90 is 1, it means tan alpha equal to p by q only. This term is 0, sin 90 is 1, so p by q. Okay. Next condition. Over. Next condition is, if theta is 0 degree centigrade, theta is 0 degree centigrade, what will happen? The resultant R equal to square root of p square plus q square plus 2pq cos theta. It means square root of p square plus q square plus 2pq cos 0 degree. Cos 0 is how much? Cos 0 is 1. So here is 1. 2pq into 1, that is 2pq. It means p plus q whole square. A square plus b square plus 2ab. Similarly, a plus b whole square. So R equal to square root of p plus q whole square, or you can write R equal to p plus q. Means in this case, both the forces, here is the resultant force, p plus q, both are vector, both the force are in same direction. Theta 0 degree means your parallelogram is like this. P is acting here and both are in same direction. Q is in the same direction. This is. If theta is 180 degree, in this case, if theta is 180 degree, It means cos theta equal to cos 180. Cos 180 is nothing but minus 1. Minus 1. Minus 1 into 2 pq. How much? That is minus. So a square plus b square minus 2ab. That is p minus q whole square. Or you can say r square equal to r equal to p minus q. It means these both the forces are collinear and opposite in direction. Opposite in direction. This is suppose P, this is Q. Both the forces are collinear in nature but opposite in direction. Q is negative and P is positive. Why? Because P is approaching towards right and Q is approaching towards left. So this is the condition. In first condition, that is P plus Q. In this case, both the forces are collinear and in the same direction. Okay, getting my point? Okay. Then we have to go for a problem. Then only you have to find out your queries and your idea regarding that. The key points are: resultant force is a single force which replaces number of forces and produce the same effect as produced by the number of forces. And second one is parallelogram law. What is that? This is the analytical method. We have to find out parallelogram law. But parallelogram law can give resultant of number of forces acting simultaneously. Only when is two forces are acting at a single point, parallelogram law can be applied. If more than two forces are acting simultaneously on a particle, parallelogram law is not suitable for that. This is all about. So now we go to the important questions for you. First question is nothing but, what do you mean by resultant of a system of forces? Resultant is nothing but a single force. As you know, already we have discussed, which have produced the same effect as produced by the other forces. And next one is state and explain parallelogram law of forces. Statement is very much important. And third one is, what is the limitation of parallelogram law? Already I have told you, the limitation is that if two forces are acting, we can apply parallelogram law to obtain the resultant of the forces. More than two forces means, suppose three forces are acting or four forces are acting at a point simultaneously. So parallelogram law is not applicable. This is the limitation of parallelogram law. And already we have discussed two problems based on parallelogram law. Thank you.